Hey guys, I'm ESC1 again, and I got a request from a viewer to make a Donphan deck list, so this is it. So my friend made the suggestion to me that I would lay out the deck in front of me instead of just going by each card and then putting it to the side. So I thought I would try out doing it like this time. So this is going to be the new way I do deck lists, or I might just go back to the old way. We'll see if I like it. So this is the start of the deck list. For Donphan, this is pretty much standard in every Donphan deck. I don't really know any Donphan decks that don't run 4. And then after Donphan, we have 4 Fampi. Also pretty standard. Pretty much every Donphan deck runs 4 of both. 2 Hawlucha. Sorry about that. Some people like to do less than 2 Hawlucha, or even more, but I think that the perfect count's really 2 because Toad isn't super popular, and you can handle it with 2 Hawlucha most of the time, I think. I think 3 is excessive, and you don't really use 3 in any other matchup besides against Toad sometimes. So I felt like 2 was, a solid number to go with. And then we also have 1 Suicune. Suicune is just a great safeguard Pokemon. It's an awesome wall. And the reason why you don't run Sigilyph instead is because Sigilyph can be one-shotted by a Crobat if it has a Muscle Band on it. And bats are getting pretty popular right now. Then there's 1 Wobbuffet. That's mostly there for Virizion Genesect, but it can help against a lot of decks that just run abilities like Metal. It can hurt Metal in the beginning. It can hurt Fairies. It can just hurt a lot of stuff that if they rely on abilities. Then we have 1 Zekrom. This is to hurt Yveltal because Yveltal is fairly popular right now, and the deck Bulky is an awful matchup for this deck, so we need a lot of text to hurt Bulky. And that's also why we run 2 Dedenne. It's just there to hurt Bulky as much as you can, because without text you just lose to Bulky pretty much every time. It's a really bad matchup. So that's all of the Pokemon. Not a lot of walls, but that's because I run a good amount of Robo substitutes. So then we have, for the supporter line, we have 4 Sycamore. This is standard in every deck. It kind of hurts sometimes in this deck because you run evolutions, but it's not really a big deal. 4 N. N is also standard in every deck. I don't know why you would go below 4 in this deck for any reason. 3 Karina. I know some people run 4. I think 4 is a little bit excessive. I think 3 gets it in your opening hand enough of the time so that it's a good balance, because you don't really need it later in the game very often. It's pretty much just helpful early game, so I think 3 is a good number. 1 Chorus. Honestly, this deck has a lot of draw options. A lot of cards are really good in this deck, so 1 Chorus is pretty much... It would be better to run 2 if you can fit it, but it's probably too many draw supporters if you have 2 Chorus, so that's why there's only 1. Then we have 2 Verseeker. This is just to get back any of these supporters, and Lysanders. 2 seems like a good count. I'd like to have 3. If I was going to go up in any draw support area, it would be to 3 Verseeker. I would do that before adding in a second Chorus. Then there's 2 Bicycle. Bicycle is great because you can Karina for Bicycle, because you can Karina for Bicycle and then another Pokemon on the first turn if you don't have another supporter in your hand. So that's why Bicycle is really handy. Plus it helps you just be more aggressive and get more stuff into play more quickly. And then we have 3 Lysander. Lysander's just super powerful in this deck. He 2-shot pretty much everything, so being able to bring up stuff that has damage on it and then get that second hit on it and knock it out is really important. That's why you have such a strong Lysander line in this deck. So that is all of the supporters and draw support cards. Then as for stadiums, just 3 Fighting Stadium. It's a really solid number. I don't think you really need more than 3. I can't really think of a reason why. One thing that we tried, me and my friend Chris Collins were trying for a little bit, was running 1 Training Center, actually, because that gives Donphan a whopping 160 HP, so it's really hard to knock it out. But we decided that it's not a good idea. But if at some point it becomes a good tech, that's just an idea I thought I would mention to you guys. And for items, you have 1 Computer Search. Computer Search is just really good early game. You can Computer Search for that Strong Energy or Muscle Band or Bangle or whatever. It's just like a really good consistency card. one Ultra Ball. Now this is the one thing that I think is pretty clever. I think this deck really doesn't need more than one Ultra Ball, maybe one more max, but one works really well for me, and every time I use Donphan I only run one Ultra Ball, and I never need more. And the reason being is you run such a thick Donphan line, you'll hit it anyway, and plus you run Karina too to make that happen even more of the time, and you don't really need to grab any specific walling Pokemon very often, so you just don't really need more than one Ultra Ball. And I know it might sound crazy to some people who are used to running 4 Ultra Ball in every deck, but I would highly consider running Ultra Ball if I were you, just one Ultra Ball if I were you. Then 2 Muscle Band. Bangle is really good in this deck, but sometimes you need to hit those non-EX Pokemon. Like Baby Yveltal can be a really big problem, especially if you don't run Muscle Band, so 2 Muscle Band is important for mostly just non-EXs. Actually entirely non-EXs. And then 2 Silver Bangle, this is just to hit everything that is an EX, which is almost everything. So yeah, 2's good. I tried 3 Bangle and 1 Muscle Band for a little bit, and that ultimately just didn't work out for me. But if there's no Yveltal in the metagame, then you might want to actually do that. It might be good. 3 Robo Substitute. This is just a great wall. This is why you don't have to run so many walling Pokemon in Donphan, because you're running more Substitute instead. Just denying your opponent's prizes, and basically just making their attacks do nothing is really powerful for a substitute. 3 Floatstone. You could even go down to 2 in this deck since there's so little wall Pokemon. I think there's actually only 3 wall Pokemon, which is Suicune, Wobbuffet, and Zekrom, and then sometimes you wall with Hawlucha if that's the only thing you can wall with. So you could even go down to 2 Floatstone if you need to find room somewhere. But I like 3, it just makes it more consistent, it helps. Then for energy, we have 4 Strong, standard every Donphan deck. I don't know why you would run any less than that. You know, it's extra damage, just makes the deck good. 5 Fighting. The reason we do such a high fighting count is because Enhanced Hammer was reprinted, so sometimes you'll run into a deck with a high Enhanced Hammer count, and when you do, you want to have a lot of fighting energy so that you don't run out of energy to attack with, because this deck doesn't run Trump Card. And then 2 Double Colorless. This is so you can wreck, this is so that you have more energy that you can put on Dedenne, because you can't use Strong on Dedenne, and this is so that you can use Outrage with Zekrom, Retreat for 2 energy with Suicune or Wobbuffet. You really need at least 2 Double Colorless in this deck, I think. For a little bit, some people were running 1 Double Colorless energy, but I really just don't think that's enough. You want to be able to wreck when you need to wreck, and Outrage when you need Outrage. So that is the whole deck. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any requests for deck lists or any kind of video you want to see, you can just tell me in the comments or send me a message. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Like if you like the video, comment if you want to tell me something, and subscribe for more.